So if you're thinking about making a move in 2021, you might be asking yourself, are there any improvements I should be making to my home before I put it on the market? I mean, the market is great right now, but how do I make sure I'm getting the best price possible? And in most markets, we would say, yeah, you should definitely be making some improvements. Where this one, the answer is probably no, but that doesn't mean there aren't things you shouldn't be paying attention to. So the reason the answer is probably no is because you have to consider the cost of the improvement, not just what you're going to get out of it. And if the cost is going to exceed what the return is going to be, then you definitely shouldn't do it. Well, in this market where there's just not a lot of competition, prices are already going up really fast. And those prices going up have a limit. I mean, you might have cash offers that it just comes down to what someone's willing to pay. But most people, even in today's market, are financing that home. And in that, there's an appraisal that's attached to it. And that appraisal is going to come to it with limits. Condition itself doesn't necessarily increase the value of the property. It really comes down to the size and the features the home has. So you go through and add that big kitchen remodel or that bath renovation that you've been thinking about doing, and it looks really, really good. But the price that ultimately we end up capping out at is similar had you not done the improvement at all. So let's take a look at some of the smaller renovations you might want to consider making to your house before you put it on the market, because let's be clear, the condition of your home still matters. The first one we're going to look at is cleaning. You absolutely still need to clean your house from top to bottom and getting it show ready. It makes a huge impact and buyers still have this expectation. It's also one of the cheaper things you can do to get the house ready for the market. Now, one of the next ones you definitely want to pay attention to is the exterior of the home, because curb appeal is still so important when buyers are considering that home, especially as they're walking up. It's their first impression they're going to have. But again, keep it to things that are cheaper and easier to manage. Getting that yard looking nice might not cost a lot, but it definitely has an improvement. Making sure the front area looks good, a fresh coat of paint, maybe a fresh coat of stain on that deck definitely goes a long way. So one of the simple improvements you probably want to make would be improving the lighting of the home. And this could be something like going and taking care of outdated light fixtures or those that really aren't providing ample light for a space, or maybe adding a lamp into an area to make it look a little bit nicer, or paying attention to curtains and blinds. And again, things that are really, really cost effective. It could be just as simple as taking down overpowering blinds or curtains that are blocking light from coming into the room. Places that look dark, they just look a lot smaller and they don't show as nice. Another improvement you probably want to put some time into is the idea of a fresh coat of paint. Paint itself is very cost effective, but it can make a huge impact making a space look cared for, or even just transforming a room altogether. Maybe it was too dark or too dominating a color. It's easy to go through and completely change the tone just by getting a couple gallons. Now, one of the areas you might want to consider making an improvement would be improving the flooring. And I say might because it really comes down to the overall condition and impact on the house. If the carpet is in really bad shape and it really is reflecting poorly on the home, it's not the end of the world to go through and make that improvement, get that fresh carpeting. You'll definitely see a big impact. Where if the carpeting is just dated, but it's still in good shape, it probably isn't something that you want to necessarily improve in the market that we're currently in. Now, the last improvement I'll offer you might want to consider is the idea of finishing off an unfinished room, like adding an additional bedroom. Now, again, this comes down to just how much work you have to put into it, but adding the square footage might be smart, and adding the bedroom might be smart in the eyes of an appraisal. It's less likely it's going to be a benefit for a bathroom simply because the cost of improving the bathroom is usually going to be a lot higher. But all the same, it might be something you might want to look at. So again, while most improvements probably shouldn't be made in your house today, hopefully this video gave you some ideas on some of those smaller areas you can pay a little attention to, and they should bring you a nice return. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.